Parehong handa na ang mahuhusay na boksingero, ang champion na si Gary Russell Jr. Bagamat matagal na pahinga, muling hinasa ang bilis at ang lakas at ang challenger, ang ating pambato na si Mark Magnifico Magsayo, ginabayan ng isa sa pinakamahusay na boxing trainer sa mundo na si Coach Freddie Roach. Parehong may nasabi sa isa't isa.
He sounds confident. He looks like he's confident. You know, that's what we want. That's what we want. That's what we want. That's what the fans want to see.
Filipino is a Filipino. We're born strong. We are a warrior.
Matitibag nga ba ni Mark Magsayo si Russell o maididipinsa ni Gary Russell Jr. ang kanyang titulo sa pang-anim na pagkakataon? Ito ang ilan sa mga prediksyon.
You've trained Mark for a couple fights. What are your thoughts about him stepping up into a world title fight against Gary Russell? Is he the guy who can finally end his reign?
I think so. Yeah, he's a good puncher. He's got really good speed, and when he puts some everything together, he's really fun to watch.
It's gonna be fun to watch. A big part of me feels like Gary's gonna use like so much intelligence and experience that it's gonna. I hate to say it's gonna be an easy night for him, but something tells me this is gonna be as much fun as we think it's gonna be. Yeah. I got a feeling it might be one-sided.
And I think
he's a very slick southpaw. He's got crazy speed, very quick hands. You know, he definitely has the advantage in the speed department over Mark. And but one thing about Gary Russell Jr., if you haven't seen, he likes to be patient and land like a lot of clean shots. That's at least what I've noticed from him. He has a very high IQ. He's got pretty good footwork, good timing. You know, he's definitely going to be landing on Mark. And he's got a good chin, actually, because he's fought guys that have power. So Gary Russell Jr., listen, he has a very high IQ. He's going to land some major body shots on Mark. So keep that in mind as well. Mark's got that power, okay? You know, and he's definitely going to be showing that in the fight, because in the later rounds, if it goes into the later rounds, I think Mark's power is going to come into handy, because as you know, in boxing, I've mentioned this before, so many people do as boxing fans, one punch can change everything. And that's why I think Mark is always going to be in this fight. He has a nasty right hand. I think he likes to use that hand a lot. He's very explosive with his combos, and he's a relentless boxer. So he's going to keep coming forward and try landing big shots. Defensively, though, he's going to be leaving himself pretty open. And I think that's where Gary Russell is going to start taking advantage. Also, I noticed that a lot of body shots get landed on Mark as well. So I think the one thing with Mark Magsayo is that, you know, if he sees that you're hurt, he's going to come after you. Like, he's relentless in that way. He's going to try to get that knockout. But I think this is going to be a very good fight, because it has power versus a guy that's very skilled. And these are some of the best matchups that, you know, we see in boxing. It's also southpaw versus orthodox. I actually have this fight going the distance. I have Gary Russell Jr. winning by unanimous decision. I think it's going to be a very good fight. It's going to be entertaining, and these guys are going to put on an absolute show.
I'm pretty sure Gary is 30 now. Once they were in that part of their career, they can have problems matching the enthusiasm and energy of a younger fighter. So I'm just curious with that. You know, he's only been able to fight once a year. He's getting older in the lower weight classes. Yeah. You know, guy relies on his speed a lot. You know, Magsayo, if nothing else, I think he's going to come out with a lot of energy and will take his shots. Filipinos have been known to pull off some upsets, so you got to watch out.
I hope Magsayo and his team went back and fixed some of those defensive techniques of the last fight, because he took a lot of body shots. Just even his style of trying to cover it up, I'm just like, bro, you're actually making it a little bit worse, right? Because if Seha was a little bit more agile, he could have shifted angles and really hit him in those rib cage and exposed that a little bit more. So if from Gary Russell, if I'm Gary Russell, I'm coming out and I am going right for the body shots, but I'm also fighting from a distance, because you know Magsayo has got that power, he's got that right hand. So I'm fighting from a distance, I'm picking my spots. I think Mark is one of those relentless fighters who is not going to give that chance. When he sees the opportunity to go, he's going to take it and hopefully keep applying to it. That is why, Chantel, I am going to go with Gary Russell Jr. winning this fight because he knows that's going to come. He's been watching the tape on Marks. He knows Mark would like to be aggressive. Why am I going to try to fight you and be aggressive with you? I'm going to fight you from a distance, pick my spots, and I'm going to the cards, and I'm walking out. Even though I haven't fought in 2 years, I'm still going to retain my belt. I'm still going to be a champion.
My official prediction of this fight is, I think Gary's got the resume. He's fought the better fighters, and the hand speed advantage, the boxing skill, and all that, I think is what's really going to be the atmosphere of the fight, and I think that Mark will have some moments where he lands some big thudding shots, and it's going to be a test for Gary a little bit to see if how he's going to adjust to that reach disadvantage in a guy who's trying to hurt you. A guy like Mark, he's not just trying to box you, he's trying to swing, he's trying to hurt you. So Gary will be tested, I think, especially in the first 3 or 4 rounds. And if he's able to time and keep his defense on point, I think he'll take Mark into deep waters. And I'm going to say decision here. I think it does go 12. I think that there could be a knockdown possibly. But I still think that Mark finishes on his feet, but it's going to be clear. And I won't be surprised, though, if it is a late stoppage.
Okay. I'm going Magsayo by decision. That's pretty much more my prediction. What I think happens is Gary Russell is a little bit rusty. And when you got a young, hungry, undefeated fighter getting his first title shot, he's going to come as motivated as ever. And you dealing with a little bit of injury, you dealing with a little bit of mental problems. With your father, you spreading yourself thin, training your brothers. I think Magsayo shocks Gary Russell, not because he's a better fighter. I do not think he's a better fighter than Gary Russell. I just think he gets caught sleeping at the wheel.
Handang-handa na si Magsayo sa laban at sa interview, ito ang masasabi ni Magsayo sa mga hindi naniniwala sa kanya.
And there's a lot of Filipinos don't believe me, but that's more motivation for me. That's their opinion. It's up to me in the fight. I need to win this fight. I don't care whatever they say. And the most important is I need to win this fight.
So yan po ang gusto kong i-share sa inyo ngayong araw sa mga kaibigan at kababayan natin dyan sa Pinas, mga boxing fans at sa mga tulad kong OFW saan man panig sa mundo. Kumusta po kayong lahat dyan? Kung nagustuhan niyo po itong aking video, paki-like at kung pwede, mag-subscribe na din po kayo. At para updated kayo sa aking mga video, pwede nyo i-click ang notification bell. Maraming salamat sa inyong panonood. Shout out kay Anton TV ng South America, Raymar Kawaling, Maximo Domingo Sr. ng Taytay Rizal, kay Pipoy's Video, Jer TV, Edward Badaguas, Perlito Mangalos, Dong Tangloy Malyari, Jen Meridian Garcia na Macau at kay Mr. Alfonso Cortado. Maraming salamat po sa pagsuporta nyo sa aking channel.